There we go, and we are live. Morning, everyone. It's so good to have all of you here with us. And I have Tabitha with me this morning. I'm sure that's a bit of a change, something unexpected. I'll be doing my Facebook Live a little bit later this morning, the series that I started earlier in the week. So, probably about 7 o'clock, I'll try and do that if things work out for me well. But just to introduce you all to Tabitha. Tabitha, I've known Tabitha for like more than 20 years. Dear friend, and a husband as well. I see him almost every day of the week. We hold each other accountable in this amazing Grace Online recovery process. But Tabitha is heading up our ladies department at Grace Online. She's been working with me on various projects over many years. And we've got something super amazing and exciting that we would like to bring to all of you today. So, Tabitha, if you would like to introduce yourself and yeah, take it away.
Good morning, everybody. It's so wonderful to be back. Kenneth and I used to do this quite often, but life threw a little bit of challenges my way, losing my mom and many other things. But I'm just immensely grateful today just to be here and to really share where we are at. From the Grace Online Women's Division, there's just so many phenomenal things happening. Our team is just exploding with so many phenomenal ideas. And I think over the coming days, Kenneth and I will be sharing more of that with you. But today, what is really on my heart is families. And I think Kenneth, who knows me very well, we always sort of have this debate when we're working with people. And I'm like, if there's a 0.5% to build and fight for this marriage, that we're going to fight for it. And sometimes Kenneth's like, yo, Tabitha, I think it's gone just too far, the hurt, the pain. And I'm like, the first question I ask is there any hope? And if there's any hope, we hold on to that. And today I want to speak to parents who are struggling to just manage life. Life is tough: work, food, expenses, bills, children, school. Just to pause this morning and say, you know what, do I really know what's going on in my child's life? Do I know who their friends are? Do I know who they are connecting with on a daily basis? So on the 27th of September, it's next, not this Saturday coming, but the following Saturday, we'll be having a phenomenal conference, which you can either register in person or online if you go to 133. Kenneth will send the link at the bottom with an amazing church. And we will be speaking about screens raising our children. And the whole event will be around empowering parents to identify, is their children struggling? What are their children exposed to? What do screens do for their children? How this disconnects our children from their real potential. And this is such a pressing issue on my heart, having my own children, being 16 and 11 and seeing what social media can do. And I just want to urge you this morning that, if you are struggling, if you're not sure, if we all have that thing, Kenneth. I know that often you and I speak about that guilt of, are we present enough? Are we doing enough? And this conference is going to be life changing. It's going to empower families to start reconnecting, to start living intentional lives with one another, and that we don't need the big things. We don't need the overseas holidays. We don't need the Gold Reef City trips, but just sometimes laying on the bed with our kid and just saying, hey, like, are you coping? Like that fundamental things of just parenting with grace and love and being connected with our children again. So I'd love to urge every single person this morning, if you cannot be there in person, register online, listen to it on the side of the rugby field, listen to it on the side of the cricket match, you're wherever you are. Put your headset on, be present wherever you need to be, but do not miss this opportunity to understand the dangers of kids on screens and what they are being exposed to. Even with the best apps, the best protection apps, our kids are so vulnerable to exposing themselves to things that will alter their lives and their marriages forever. And today, Kenneth and I just want to stand up for the truth, and we understand the consequences of exposure too early in their lives. We're dealing with hundreds of men and women who are struggling today with addiction because of unnecessary exposure. So that's my heart this morning, Kenneth, and my plea to every parent is just to register, show up, go to the link. Kenneth will post it in the comments today. Please take a look at it. take that bold step. Do not be the parent that's the ostrich in the sand, but lift up your head and say, you know what, I'm raising someone else's husband, I'm raising someone else's wife. And that is the biggest gift that we all have as parents, is the ability to not let our kids face the challenges of our past, but to say, you know what, if I'm a dad today struggling with porn, no more. If I'm a mom struggling with self-image issues, no more. Because it starts with us saying, I do not want my children to bear these struggles of mine anymore, but to live a true life of, you know what, I want to make a difference. I want to see my kids thrive. I want to point them to the things in life that are priceless, that cost nothing. So that's my plea this morning, Kenneth.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that, Tabitha. Yeah, and it's yeah, I think this is going to be something super, super exciting and phenomenal. It's the first for us. So we're doing the conference at Love Reaching Communities Church. It's an in-person event. I know that many schools have been invited. Many parents from schools have been invited. And it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. We have a whole panel of people that will be sort of presenting and hosting the event on the day. Yeah, lots of specialities from Grace Online's side. Even the pastors from that church are going to be speaking to us as well. They have massive experience with it as well. And Tabitha, would you maybe just like to explain to the people, to our viewers at this point in time, why, how did this conference start? Like, what was the request and who did it come from? And yeah, so that people just can understand where it's going from. Also, what's happening tomorrow, because something else is also happening tomorrow that is based on this.
So I think this is the powerful part, right? And this is why my heart is so drawn to what we are going to be doing, is that the youth of this particular church reached out to their youth pastor and said, we are struggling with pornography, we're struggling with our screens, we're struggling with self-image. We do not know how to approach our parents. Can you have something where you help our parents connect with us? So our children are longing to be intimate with us. Our children are longing to be open and truthful and honest with us, but there isn't safe spaces for them to do it. So when I heard this, Kenneth and I were like, doesn't matter what, we are sowing into this, because these young children are desperate for their parents to understand the dangers of what technology is doing to their lives, what they are confronted with, the bullying, the uncertainty. So yes, it was the youth of this church who reached out to their youth pastor and said, please, can you help equip our parents to understand the dangers of screen, technology, pornography, the exposure. And that's where this idea has come from. And we're immensely excited with there's about 7 or 8 different people on this panel that are all world-class individuals in their field that deal with teenagers, deal with parents, deal with struggles of addiction, pornography, and screen. And so this is where this started from, guys. Our children are hungry for us to create spaces for them to come and share what they are struggling with. They are silently dying inside without us even being aware of it, because, and I understand it, there's no guilt, there's no shame today on any of us. All of us are living a fast-paced life, trying to meet financial commitments, trying to just get the school fees paid, the food on the table. But our challenge to every parent is to just pause and slow down their life, not to miss this. One of the biggest things that Kenneth and I have learned in addiction is that when people struggle with addiction, it's the inability to regulate emotion. And I always say to my children, you can feel anyway, but you cannot behave anyway. Behavior forms and grows relationships, or breaks and destroys relationships. And the thing is, I love that saying of Mother Teresa, if you want to save the world, go home and start with your family. And my urge to every parent this morning is, let's go home and start with our own families. Let's start with our own children. There was something that I've been doing for years and years, and often people used to laugh at me, because every day when I picked my kids up from school, I would say, how was your day? How did you feel? Who did you play with today? And I had a friend that would often just drive with me in my lunchtime to fetch the kids. And she's like, why do you ask your kids every day who they play with? It's the same names. I said, because one day there's going to pop up a name that wasn't the same as yesterday. I'm going to want to know who that kid is, because that can alter my child's life. So guys, please, I urge you this morning, the fee is minimal. It's 150 Rand for a couple. It's 100 Rand for an individual. The online registration. If you cannot be in Joburg, if you're anywhere else in South Africa, will also be 100 Rand. That 100 Rand will go into a fund to help children in this church who are struggling with addiction, who are struggling with pornography, screen addiction. So every cent going to this conference will be poured back into the life of the youth of this ministry for them to be able to move forward. So that's where it started, Kenneth. And isn't that phenomenal that our children are asking for help, that they are desperate for change in their families? You on mute, Kenneth? The world cannot hear you right now.
There we go. I remember in the beginning of this year, we had a monthly meeting on the first Saturday of the month, and we called this one "Save Our Children." And I think we had the highest attendance, something like 260, 70 people that attended that meeting. About the dangers of pornography and the extent to which this has grown in our societies. And guys, ladies, gentlemen, my heart breaks to think that there are children out there that have cultivated sexual relationships with entities, not even people, entities on screen. And that they are emotionally attached to something, an image that can do various hectic things on a screen and interact with a person that is on the other side, with the AI and image generation, where this world is going. And I'm like, listen here, this is an extinction level event. You know, if I had access to pornography, that not a real person, when I was in high school, that would do on the screen and would have that you could have a relationship with, an emotional relationship with, then I don't know if I would have ever wanted to be in a real relationship. And this stuff is happening. Yes. Luister, hierdie goed gebeur al klaar. It's happening already. It's happening. It's happening to your child. And there's someone listening to this today. Your child is stuck in that thing already, and you don't even know it. And that's not to put blame on you. It's not to accuse you of anything. This is just a call to, let's wake up together. Let's figure ways out to talk about this stuff. Let's put a voice to what's happening. It's a dark hole, and it's destructive, and it's destroying children. Thousands of children, and I would dare to say maybe even hundreds of thousands of children in South Africa is already trapped into this thing. And then, you know, if you're following this thing that happened in America, I don't want to talk a lot too much about the Americans, but this person that shot the other guy, he was it's online exposure to perverse sexual ideologies that is directly at the root of somebody killing someone else. Because it's just shocking. And maybe what I'm saying is very controversial. My point is this, that it's not a matter of if your child is going to be exposed to pornography and AI sexual stuff. It's a matter of when it is going to happen. It's a matter of when. Will not be able to protect your child. You can do absolutely your utmost best. I'm not saying we should give up, but we have to talk about this. We have to arm our children with the knowledge. My boy is 11. He knows more about pornography and sexual addiction and addictions and stuff than I think most kids, because we talk about it since he was 3 years old, age appropriately. And it's in his school. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. The stuff is everywhere. You cannot stop it. Even if you put on the best blocking software on your child's phone, there's a Mikey in the class sitting next to him that doesn't have the same thing. And he just goes like this. Look here. Look here. Look here. Like that. 5 seconds. And it's done. That image instills in your child's brain, and an arousal template is formed around the first sexual image that your child sees. And that first image is the thing that will haunt him. Ladies and gentlemen, husbands, fathers, mothers, grandfathers, we have to start talking about this. So this is very, very important. So tomorrow morning we're going to broadcast about this again. And Tabitha, if you can try and do this every day, that would be phenomenal. If it's possible. I know you're very busy as well. Maybe involving some of our speakers and some of the Grace Line people and the London Love Reaching Communities congregation as well, to talk about this as much as we can. Tomorrow morning, we're trying to get some of the other guys on, and we'll do another one about this. And this morning at about 7 o'clock, I'll be doing my normal broadcast regarding what is your voice and finding your voice again. So thanks for taking the time. Thanks for listening to us. Tabitha, anything from you in closing? Was I too hard on the people? Sometimes I don't know.
No,
if I'm
I think
too
you were.
hard,
I think you were too soft. You always say to us, "Speak the damn truth," and I was like, "Why are you sugarcoating this today, Kenneth? Like this is something close to our heart." And I think my last just plea to parents is that, you know what, does not make you a bad parent because this is happening. This is happening to all of us. Being oblivious to it and pretending that your child is not exposed to it is the lie. And that's what I want to bring to the forefront today, is that, you know what, show up for your children, join this conference, sign up, understand the power and the impact of raising children around screens. And exactly what Kenneth said, you can be doing everything in your home, but unfortunately you do not control what happens in other children's home. And these children are in our schools with our children, around our kids, and it's in the best families. Just remember, addiction does not discriminate. This is available for every single family, every single person, no matter where you are in society. And so I just want to really urge you guys, please join the link. Tomorrow we're going to have some of the people from the LRC team, as well as some of our team that can speak a little bit more in depth of what they're going to be speaking about. So do not miss this. It will be again at 6:30 tomorrow morning. So if you missed us live today, put on your alarm clock. It's never too early to change the dynamic of your family. We're working with children from the age of 9 who are struggling with this. So you know what, I just want to say to every parent out there, we are here for you. We're here to support you. You are not in this alone. I think that's the biggest thing. Healing always comes in community, guys. You cannot keep this a secret, because at the end of the day, you are not serving yourself or your children any justice by pretending that this problem does not exist. So yeah, thank you, Kenneth, for talking out on this subject. I'm so excited to see what is going to happen on the 27th. Kenneth will definitely post the link with this video. So go to the website, register, even just give back to other families who are not in a position to be able to do this. And we look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 6:30 with some incredible people in our team and the LRC team. So yeah, Kenneth, cannot wait for that.
Excellent. And then lastly, if you watched up until now, this topic must really be catching or speaking to your heart. I'd like to ask you to please share this video. Copy the link, share it, send it directly to people if you don't want to post it on your Facebook. Let's get the word out. We are heading into darkness, yeah, and we need your support. Please pray for us. We want to make a difference in the world, and something that is lasting. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic day further. I'm going to be broadcasting at 7 o'clock, my series. Very excited about that as I wrap up the final bit of my preparation for that. Have a nice day, everyone. Thanks. Cheers. See you later.